first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then our first three ingredients that we're going to be using are going to be 1½ sticks of unsalted butter, 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, could be dark as well, and a 1/4 cup of plain just granulated sugar. The second set of ingredients is going to be 1 egg, 1 large egg, and then 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And we're going to blend that into our mix. The third step of ingredients you want to mix into a separate bowl, which is going to be 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons cornstarch, 1 teaspoon baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon salt, and that's it. The last step, the most important, is the chocolate chips. We're going to add 1 1/4 cup, and they are semi-sweet. So now we're going to add the butter. Just plop it in there, it's already at room temperature. So do that first. Then I'm going to start creaming it on about low. Just kind of get it blended. Just want a nice creamy texture. Then I'm going to add in my brown sugar. Let it go a little bit, and my sugar. And when it gets to that nice blended consistency, I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2 teaspoons vanilla, and then our 1 large egg. We want that to blend real good so it's not so wet looking. Looking good. So now I can start mixing in the pre-mixed ingredients that we had, the flour and the cornstarch, slowly. It's going to become real thick. I'm going to slowly put it in there. Let it get a little mixed. It's going to be real thick. That's good. I usually turn it off for a little bit, put it down, and kind of scrape my edges to kind of get it mixed again. So make sure everything's all in there, because all that flour and stuff gets stuck on your blade here. Get it all back in the middle there. Now I'll mix it one more time. And this is on a low speed still. Okay. And I don't like mixing my chocolate chips with a mixer. Just kind of gets all stuck in there. I like to do that with just one of my, there's a spatula. So we're going to do that. Let me take this off here. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I get all of this good cookie dough out of here. We still have not added our chocolate chips yet. So let me just get all of this off here. That's good enough. And then again, scrape your sides. Sure. Then I'm going to add my chocolate chips. That's the 4th cup and the cup. And of course you can always add more or less chocolate chips, depending on what you like. Really get under there. I like my chocolate chips to be nicely dispersed. Okay, that's about good. Okay, again, scrape my sides. And that looks pretty well mixed. Okay, then you're gonna get your muffin pan, your cupcake pan, and I put just different colored little liners in here. I got them from William and Sonoma, kind of cute. I use a cookie or like an ice cream scooper, a cookie scooper. I think those work good, even for cupcake dough actually. So I'm gonna put that into my pan here. So you can get about 1 little scoop. As you can see here, I put 1. That should be plenty. So we're gonna do 1 of these for each of this. And actually I do have quite a bit of dough left, so I can even do another set, but I'm going to start with this. Can refrigerate the rest if you don't feel like using it now. And then we're going to put this in our oven. It should be heated by now at 350. And we're going to do it for about 12 to 14 minutes depending on your oven. You want to make sure when you take it out, it will look like they're still a little bit doughy, but that is what you want. You don't want them to start to look brown already. That is what you're going to want, so they're nice and chewy. Now we're going to be working on the frosting while our cupcakes are in the oven. We're going to be making the chocolate chip cookie dough frosting without like the egg. It's the same kind of ingredients. It's 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter and 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. The second ingredient for our frosting is going to be 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Third set of ingredients for our frosting is 1 1/4 cup of flour and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. The fourth set of ingredients is going to be 6 tablespoons of milk. The last set of ingredients is going to be your chocolate chips, preferably to use the mini ones so they're not so big like mine are for your frosting. So now we're adding our 1 1/2 sticks of butter and my 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm going to blend that. You can probably see that I didn't really clean out the mixer really well, but it's still all cookie dough, so that's fine. A little bit won't hurt. Let that blend. All the brown sugars get mixed in good. So now I'm going to start adding my 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1, 2. Let that blend. Then we're going to go for our flour and for our salt. So the salt again was 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then we're going to do flour, slowly, and we're never higher than 2 on a KitchenAid mixer, so it's on low. be our milk. As you can see, it's going to need it, getting kind of thick, so I'm going to start pouring that in slowly. And give that nice, creamy, frosting-like texture. Let that blend up so it's not too wet. That looks pretty nice and creamy. Looks like frosting. And I'm going to add the chocolate chips. This time I will do it in the blender, just because I have it on low. It's going to be 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I'm going to slowly blend those in there too. Yeah, good frosting. Looks like the cookie dough. So that looks blended enough to me. And now we're going to go frost our cupcakes. After you take your cupcakes out of the oven, you want to make sure they get cooled off. I put mine on a cooling rack to kind of get a little more cooler. So now that they're at a good room temperature, I'm going to start piping the frosting on top. Okay, so when you start putting the frosting on, I did put mine in a piping bag. You can use a spoon. I did try using this. You can use 2 spoons and, you know, push it on top. I do like using a piping bag like an actual frosting. So I'm just going to kind of do it nicely here. Just a thin layer of some frosting. And it's rich, so I'm not going to do too much. Like that. Kind of cute. I'm going to do that on all of these. Another thing that you could do too is you can take this off and actually just display it like that because it looks kind of cute with the little ridges in there. It's an option. This is our finished product. Enjoy!